Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to take a look at practicing our editing skills. It's important to understand that editing is completely different than revising. When we edit, we want to be able to look for mistakes that make our writing incorrect. And when we revise, we are looking to take a piece of writing that is already correct and just improve it and make it better. So it's important as we're looking today and practicing today that all we are doing is looking for mistakes, just as it says here in the directions. We're going to use our proofreading guide over here, these proofreading marks. So if you are not sure how to mark your page, you'll be able to look to the left. For this particular lesson, I am going to be marking some places where there are mistakes, and you will be answering with how to make that mistake correct. And then you'll get to check and see how you do. So this one is just going to be practice. And then after you practice, there will be an opportunity for you to do some independent practice on a separate paragraph. So to get started today, we're going to be using a paragraph called The Beach. And as I look at this just to begin with, I don't even need to read it. I can see that there is something right off the bat, without reading any of the words, that the structure of this paragraph is not correct. I look at the beginning of the paragraph and I can tell it is not indented. So I'm going to use this mark right here to show that I need to indent my paragraph. I need to hit that tab key. So it really is just like drawing a backwards P with an extra line, an extra mark. So it's not indented. And now I'm going to read the first sentence. It says, "Do you know Ryan did last weekend?" That sounds awfully funny, so I know that the wording is incorrect. I believe that I need to add a word. I think something needs to go right here. So I'm going to put this little tent to show that I'm going to add a word, as it says in our key. And I think I need to add the word what. Do you know what Ryan did last weekend? I also can tell that there is a grammar error. So I'm going to circle a word that I know is incorrect. It's not the right spelling of the word. This no means not. I need the kind of no like knowledge in my head. So I need to circle this word, and it should be written as a K-N-O-W. Do you know what Ryan did last weekend? Well, that sounds like they're asking a question. So I'm going to use this add a question mark. So I'm going to circle this and add a question mark. Now I didn't do it exactly as this mark shows, and that's just because it's kind of a tight space and it's kind of hard to get it in there. The important thing is that we show what we are changing. Okay, so now we have corrected the first sentence. Do you know what Ryan did last weekend? He went to the beach with his family. I see that it's got a capital. It's got a period at the end. It has all the correct words. I think that sentence is okay. So here's our transition. First, Ryan builded a huge sandcastle. Well, that sort of sounds like a little kid is talking. I can tell one of the words is incorrect. So I'm going to circle a word so that it can be spelled correctly. I wouldn't say Ryan builded. I would say, in past tense, Ryan built a huge sandcastle. Okay, I think now we have this sentence correct. I'm going to read it one more time. First, Ryan built a huge sand castle. It's got a capital letter. The name is capitalized. It's got a comma after the transition. It's got a period, and it sounds correct. So the next sentence, let's read it. It begins with a transition as well. Then he collect seashells and rocks. Okay, I know that's the end of the sentence because it's a complete thought and it is missing a period. Just because a period isn't there doesn't mean we keep reading. We stop at the end of our thoughts, and when we pause, there should be punctuation. So we're going to use the add a period. So I'm going to go ahead and circle, and I'm going to put my period up here just to show that it needs to be added there, excuse me. All right, something funny sounds about that sentence. So then he collect seashells and rocks. Well, I know that it's past tense because it was last weekend, and we use built, which is past tense. So we should use past tense of the word collect. That word is not spelled correctly, so I'm going to circle it. And in order to make it past tense, I am going to make it say collected. Then, comma, he collected seashells and rocks, period. I think we're good. All right, going on to the next sentence, we have a final transition. It says, after that, he goed swimming with his brother. Okay, so it does begin with a period, or a capital, excuse me, and it has a comma after the transition, and it has a period at the end, but again, it sounds like we have some poor grammar going on. We need to circle one of those words that doesn't make sense or sound right. So I'm going to circle goad. Goad is not even a word. What I really should be writing is he went swimming with his brother. Okay. All right. Our final sentence. Ryan has a wonderful time at the beach. Now, I think that sentence has a capital at the beginning. It has a punctuation, a period at the end. All of the words are spelled correctly, and it even sounds right. But there is one thing that's not right about that sentence, because all of our verbs have been past tense because this happened last weekend. So we have one of our verbs in this sentence that isn't correct because this sentence is written in present tense, but we need to change it to be past tense. Therefore, I am going to circle this word. We wouldn't say Ryan has a wonderful time at the beach. In past tense, we would say Ryan had a wonderful time at the beach. So sometimes we need to think about not just does it sound right and not just to read it like we think it's supposed to be written. We need to really be careful and slow down our reading, read it more closely, and make sure that we're reading it just as it's written so that we read it with those mistakes and hear those things that don't sound right. Okay, so I hope that you did well with your practice and you were able to pick out those same mistakes with me, and wish you luck as you try the next passage on your own and do well with that as well. Good luck.